Hello everyone, it's Don once again with another look at the construction happenings going on in and around the villages. First up is the new Starbucks going in by Lowe's on 466A. No idea what the scheduled opening date is, and for me, I probably don't care. 20 years of drinking engine room coffee on a submarine, my tastes are pretty simple. Just give me a plain cup of Maxwell House. I'm good to go. Next up is the apartments behind Lowe's. These are called the Wilds at Trailwinds. There's 4 buildings scheduled to go in. This is phase 1, 2 buildings, each with about 100 apartments each. The smaller buildings being built are garages. This many apartments in one small area, with the only exit really being the traffic light there by Aldi. It's going to create quite a traffic jam, I'm sure, when rush hour comes around. Something we don't normally see here in the villages. No, I don't consider having to wait one cycle of a traffic light or 3 or 4 golf carts in front of me at a stop sign as a traffic jam. I'm sure we all recognize the Chitty Chatty bridge by now. Off in the distance, you see Thai villas. There's been some recent activities in the permitting process, so they're probably going to start moving on these. Thai villas is going to be kind of unique. Each lot is going to be on a view site, and it's not going to be packed in like we normally see with most villa communities. It should be very interesting. The question is, will these be custom built, or will these be spec homes as they normally do with villas? I wouldn't put it past the villagers to try something new here. The small road at the top of the screen, entering into Morse Boulevard, is actually just for construction. It'll go away just as soon as the homes are built. In total, this will be 74 homes on about 112 acres. This is the village of Chitty Chatty. This will probably be the last video I do of Chitty Chatty. It's all sold out. There are only 2 homes left. And then the last few homes that are still under construction, you see them here. They're nearing completion also. So there's not much left to see here. Going down the middle of Chitty Chatty are some power lines, and they're just about done replacing all the poles in them. It was really nice of the power company not to give anybody any notice that they were going to do this. This is Evans Prairie, and we'll take a look at the bridge that's being rebuilt on the Magnolia golf course. It's almost done. Raising this bridge turned out to be necessary because Mother Nature once again proved that she's smarter than us, and just because we think we know how high the water's going to be, it's going to be a little bit higher. This was actually video footage I took for a lesson in a drone class I teach at the Enrichment Academy. I teach 2 classes, soon to be 3. If you're interested in drone flying, take a look at the Enrichment Academy's website, and you'll find the 2 classes that I'm teaching now. During the time this bridge work has been going on and the course has been shut down, it's also been undergoing quite a bit of maintenance to make it its best come summer. This empty lot at the east end of Lake Deaton Plaza next to Publix is scheduled for a new commercial building, 18 1,200 square foot units that'll be built. Of course, there's an extra $60,000 in taxes that have got to be paid now, thanks to our county commissioners. Of course, it will be us, the consumers, that actually pay the tax. Businesses don't pay taxes. They only collect them. This is the new medical building next to the Chitty Chatty Bridge and the Rohan Rec Center at Lake Deaton Plaza. It's coming along quickly. It should be open here in a couple of months. We'll go a little farther south now. This is the village of Hawkins. This is basically phase 2, I guess you would call it, of Hawkins. They're starting to prep the land for the new homes and their foundations. As we move a little farther west past the water treatment plant, this area is scheduled to be commercial, but who knows with the new taxes that they've levied when the developer will be able to sell that property. Yes, it's a tax, whether you pay it once or you pay it every year. If you're paying it to the government, it's a tax. They call it an impact fee because nobody likes to use the word taxes. As is typical in the new areas, these long retention ponds along the wetlands area have a walking path on the one side opposite the homes. Moving a little farther south, we'll take a look at the Sawgrass Grove area and the Ezell Recreation Center. Here's the sports pool. And here's the Ezell Recreation Center. Lots of interior work is in progress now that the building has been dried in. This video is shot with a new drone I got about a month ago. It's a little different than the other ones I use, and it has some features that I've not had before. In this case, a zoom lens. As we zoom in, you can see a lot better what's going on at the Sawgrass Grove Market. That's the stage area, and McCrady's in the background. The zoom lens will definitely help when it comes to getting in a little bit closer. I don't have to worry so much about traffic or people below me. This area is the putt and play course that they're building. As you can see, work is starting to progress on it. While nothing's been put out yet, or even hinted at, as to when this area is going to open, my guess is somewhere around Labor Day we should start seeing this place open up, and the fun should start to begin. Here's another look at the Ezell Recreation Center. As you can see, the zoom lens really helps on getting a much closer shot. Here's another look at the pitch and putt area. You can see they're pouring the concrete sidewalks for the course. We'll go over and take another closer look at McCrady's restaurant. They've got the roof framing up. That's the stage area. And of course the Sawgrass Market. The market has a long blank wall that's going to be facing the road. My guess is there's going to be a nice billboard type sign advertising the market and the nightly entertainment that's going to be there. We'll take a quick look at the starter shack for the Laurel Oak and Live Oaks 9. And if you look behind it, you can see that the course is really starting to green up. The fairways are actually starting to sprout grass. This is the Live Oak 9 with Bexley Trail going along the left. As you can see, they're starting to lay in the traps and the greens and the tee boxes. The lakes are all pretty much done now. They've got sod along the edges and they're filled. That's the village of Hawkins at the top of the screen. As I rotate around, you'll see that they're laying in the road beds now for Cason Hammock, another village that's being built. I'm going to rotate back around now and go towards the south. You may not have caught it the first time, but if you look at the top of the screen, on the other side of the turnpike, you can see that some work has actually started. Don't know exactly what it is yet. I'll have another shot of it here in a few minutes. Also, if you look up and to the right, you see some more test borings have been done. I'll talk about those in a minute also. This is the Citrus Grove Neighborhood Recreation Area and Postal Center. But the real treat here is take a look. Look at all the houses that have started. In just 3 weeks, almost all of these have appeared. When I did my last flyover, there was a half a dozen foundations being poured. Now there's about 100 homes here. Absolutely amazing how fast they can build. there's going to be quite a few prime waterfront and golf front lots here in Citrus Grove. The weather lately has been absolutely phenomenal. I've been able to get in a lot of longer shots than I normally would have because I can see the drone so far. This is the Laurel Oak 9 once again. As you can see, they've got lots of sod in, but also the fairways are starting to green. It's a little hard to tell from these pictures, but when you get up close you can see it. When I'm out flying, I meet a lot of people, and I get a lot of compliments and a lot of kind words, and I truly do appreciate it. If you do see my truck, please stop by, say hello. We'll talk for a few minutes. I'll answer your questions as best I can. The one comment that always gets me is, "You sound just like you do in your videos." I can't help but think, gee, I thought I sounded like George Clooney or John Wayne. I don't know. Kind of a silly comment. But here we go, rotating back around, we'll take another look at Citrus Grove again. It won't be too much longer until these areas are starting to be up for sale. Here's a nice long shot of the major areas of Citrus Grove. As you can see, quite a few homes being built. I'll continue to rotate around. The gray area at the top of the screen is the Duke Energy electrical substation. The orange area at the top of the screen is the big clay area that they've been excavating for the last 2 or 3 months. Just beyond the power lines coming up is the Homestead Recreation Center that's being built. This is another village rec center similar to Aviary. This is at the very edge of Sumter County. Just beyond it is Lake County. The plans for this rec center also show a nature walk going off to the north. It appears to be similar to what they built for the Fenney Recreation Center. You can see some new homes being started on this side of the power lines. I'm not sure if this is Citrus Grove or they have another name for this village. As this is still a major construction area, there's still plenty of signs like this. I'm going to ask once again, folks, please don't go past these signs where they say the road is closed or no trespassing. It's just not safe. You're just putting your own safety at risk. Here's another of the signs. It says no trespassing. This is because some of the equipment working on the homes is frequently going to cross this path, and the operators just aren't looking for people back there. They're trying to get their job done. It's not safe. This is the road that leads into the Red Fox and Gray Fox course, and eventually will lead into the hammock of Fenney Village. They will eventually be installing gates here. This will be Rosebud Villas going in here. Still no definitive word yet on what's going to go into this commercial area right here. Last we knew it was supposed to be a gas station at this spot. I'll turn and head southwest now and look at the rest of Hammock at Fenney. And when we get down to the bottom, we're going to see a unit called Unit 141. It's 8 lots on 2 1/4 acres. The way it's tucked into the woods, this looks to be a very special area coming up. It'll be interesting to see what they build in there. I'm sure they're all going to be custom-built homes. Hammock at Fenney is just the beginning of this area. It's only about 20% of the land that they own between here and US 301. I'm sure that there's going to be several more villages built back in here in the years to come. This is Unit 141, the T-shaped road here. And you can see that these all back up to the woods, so it should be interesting to see what they do here. That's the Gray Fox course. In the corner of the screen, you can see the layout of the lots. These lots are tucked in right behind the 3rd tee box of the Gray Fox golf course. Without a doubt, these premium lots will be snapped up within minutes of being listed. This is the area just north of the village of DeLuna. You can see the road beds already being put in place for Marsh Bend Trail. In the southernmost section of this area, the red and gray clay has already been distributed, but you can still see it's piled high as we move farther north. This will all be spread back out once they get the deep utilities in place. The deep utilities being the sewage and the stormwater and the water mains. There's a tremendous amount of work going on here, and it's only a couple of months behind the Hammock at Fenney area. The area just beyond the power lines that you can see here is a little farther along than the rest. The road near the top of the screen is US 301. The drawings I've seen only show one entrance off of 301, and that's Marsh Bend Trail. So everything in this area will be accessed through Marsh Bend Trail. This is once again heading to the south back towards the village of DeLuna. This is the interchange of Warm Springs Avenue and Magnolia Road. Turning to the northeast, looking at the plans, this appears to be a villa or veranda or maybe a combination of both community that's being built. You can see they've started laying in the utilities and the roadways. This is the southern end of the village of St. John's. St. John's runs all the way up to the Water Lily Bridge. On the south side of Warm Springs Avenue, this is all scheduled to be commercial property. This is the same area we saw when we were flying over Hawkins. The Magnolia and Warm Springs interchange again. And this area is also supposed to be commercial property. This is more work in the village of St. John's. This starts up by the Water Lily Bridge, and we head back south along Magnolia Road, and we can see that there's quite a bit of work going on. There's another huge long retention pond. The stockpiled red and gray clay has all been distributed in this area also. The deep utility mains in this area have already been laid in. This is the outflow of the Okahumpka Lake that feeds the Hogeye Sink in the village of Marsh Bend. This is another huge wetlands preserve area, and then a little farther ahead is some more of the village of St. John's. Across the Turnpike is the Everglades recreation areas. This is heading south just out of Brownwood, and I'll turn a little bit to the west, and you'll see these big stockpile yards once again with the red clay that's been moved from the County Road 470 area. There are 3 of these huge stockpiles. This represents several thousand cubic yards of soil that have been moved. It's been a phenomenal undertaking. When I started watching these about 2 months ago, these stockpiles barely existed. Now they're huge. In a few months they'll disappear as the soil is distributed throughout this entire area. Using this clay for drainage control is one of the many things that the development bonds that we all pay go for. We'll head south again along Magnolia Road. Coming up is the traffic circle that will eventually link Buena Vista and Magnolia Road. Buena Vista is scheduled to come south along the east side of Wildwood Country Resort and meet up at this traffic circle. This is the area on the south side of the Turnpike, just below Monarch Grove that we saw earlier. You can see that there's a lot going on here. Not sure exactly what it is, but obviously they're starting to work here. That's the Laurel Oak and Live Oak 9 on the opposite side of the Turnpike. This is the area just south of Monarch Grove. These white spots are the results of test boring that's done by Rainey Construction at quarter-acre intervals. Between any of these 4 points is 1 acre of land. They do this so they can figure out how much soil they have to remove or add during the construction process. Here's the preliminary plans for this area. It's about 270 acres. In the white area, that will be about 850 houses. In the gray area, that's designated as non-residential. Other maps I've seen show this as golf courses. As we fly over Lake Okahumpka towards the Okahumpka Rec Center that's going to be built, I want to thank you for watching the video. It's been my pleasure presenting this to you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you once again. Until next time, I'm Don Wiley.